McGahn is the star witness to the more than 10 instances of alleged obstruction of justice, of alleged obstruction of justice committed by Trump when he was president. While he was maneuvering to try to shut down the investigation into Russia's interference in the 2016 election, when he, among other things, directed Don McGahn to create a false paper trail to cover up how he had tried to derail that investigation. Question. If you had put out the statement President Trump was requesting, disputing that he had ever asked you to have the special counsel removed, would that have been accurate? Answer. That statement would not have been accurate. So the statement the president was asking you to put out would not have been accurate, correct? Answer. Would not. Right. It would not have been accurate. Right. Thank you. The president told you to put out an inaccurate statement denying that he had ever told you to get rid of Robert Mueller. He told you to do that, right? Yes. And that would have been a false statement. Yes. But he told me to cover it up. So here it is, right? The firsthand testimony from the White House counsel about alleged serious acts of obstruction of justice committed by the former president while he was president. This only came out today. This is testimony that was taken last week. The transcript of the testimony was only released today. It took the House Judiciary Committee years to get this testimony on the record from Don McGahn, but they finally got it. This is the first time he has ever testified. The Judiciary Chairman, Congressman Jerry Nadler, today saying, quote, Don McGahn provided the committee with substantial new information, including firsthand accounts of President Trump's increasingly out-of-control behavior and insight into concerns that the former president's conduct could expose both President Trump and Don McGahn himself to criminal liability. Could it, though, really? Could Trump really be exposed to criminal liability by any of his actions? Really? I mean, only if there was a prosecutor who would be willing to prosecute him for these alleged crimes. Under Justice Department policy, Robert Mueller, the special counsel, didn't believe he or any prosecutor had the power to charge Trump with any crime while he was still serving as president. But Mueller made very clear when his report was released that once Trump was out of office, oh yeah, he could be charged as a former president.
Was there sufficient evidence to convict President Trump or anyone else with obstruction of justice?
We did not make that calculation.
Okay, but let me just stop. You made the decision on the Russian interference. You couldn't have indicted the president on that, and you made the decision on that. But when it came to obstruction, you threw a bunch of stuff up against the wall to see what would stick. Well, and that is fundamentally unfair.
I would not agree to that characterization at all.
Okay, but could you charge the president with a crime after he left office?
Yes.
You believe that you could charge the president of the United States with obstruction of justice after he left office?
Yes.
Yes. You could charge the president of the United States with obstruction of justice after he left office? Yes. 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 That's the whole point. And now he's left office. And the main witness for the 10-plus instances of alleged obstruction of justice in that report, that witness has just testified to Congress about what he saw and what the president tried to get him to do, confirming the allegations at their core. So now the former president could be prosecuted for those alleged instances of obstruction of justice. Any takers? Think there's any appetite for that in the U.S. Justice Department under Merrick Garland during the Biden administration? The Judiciary Committee has the option, if they want it, to make a formal referral to the Justice Department for potential prosecution of crimes they have become aware of. That, among other things, would require a response from the Justice Department as to what they were doing about that criminal referral. We know from ongoing current court battles that under the former Attorney General, under the Trump administration, the Justice Department never actually substantively considered the evidence against Trump and whether or not he should be charged. The Justice Department never looked at it. Now there's no reason why they couldn't look at it now. And he is only a former president now, so he's not protected anymore by any Justice Department policy that would grant him immunity. So, again, any takers? Is this all just going to slide? Why was this evidence all compiled? if the Justice Department, if federal prosecutors are never substantively going to look at any of that evidence, despite the fact that there's no prohibition on bringing criminal charges against somebody who committed crimes like this once they are no longer serving as president. Is there anyone considering a potential prosecution here? What was this evidence collected for anyway?